We can break apart the
Story time about how I catfished all the popular boys in my grade and they found out about it. So a little background information. I was at a new school. I just started there probably like 4 months before this happened. And I was best friends with this one girl. We're gonna call her Kate. And Kate had a crush on this guy. We're gonna call him Alex. And he liked her back, but she wanted to see if he was loyal. Well, at least that's what it was supposed to be at first. But then he started to actually fall in love with this bitch. So then I started feeling bad and I told my friend that I just wanted to end it right there. And she was like, no, let's keep going. This is so funny. Mind you, this was the boy that she liked. So at that point, I was like, whatever. And then he asked to meet up at the mall. So then we took him on a whole goose chase around the whole mall. Like, we were like, oh, we're in this store. Never mind, we're in this one. And the only reason why we got away with it was because he thought he saw us in the one store. So then we broke up with him and we started talking to all the other popular boys. And on this fake account, we said that we went to a different school. Well, one of the kids at that school said that he never saw us. Part 2 about how I catfished all the popular boys in my school and they found out about it. So like I said, the one kid said, oh, I never saw you at my school. So then I just blocked him and thankfully that situation got left alone. Well, then after that, like I said, we started talking to all the other popular boys. We're gonna call this catfish Ashley. Well, at that point, everybody knew who Ashley was. Like, I would literally be sitting in class and all the girls would be talking about how much they hate Ashley, how Ashley's such a hoe. Like, all the girls despised her. Sorry, her. And they kind of had a reason to, because we broke up so many relationships and everything. Well, the one night I'm having a sleepover with my friends. Well, Kate asked if she could come to the sleepover as if it wasn't obvious that she could come. Just a quick reminder, Kate was the one who I started the account with. So I was joking around with her and I was like, no, you can't come. So I wake up the next morning, right? And all the popular boys are blowing up my phone on my actual accounts. Part 3 about how I catfished all the popular boys in my school and they found out. So like I said, I wake up the next morning and thankfully it was a Sunday. And like I said, I woke up to text messages from all of Alex's friend group. And all these text messages were like, are you the one running the Ashley account? We saw screenshots of all the messages between you and Kate. So I texted Kate and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how does everybody know? And she made some bullshit ass excuse saying that her brother took her phone and took pictures of all the conversations and sent them to everybody. Which obviously I knew that wasn't true. But after that I went into a whole depression because everybody just kept coming at me for this fake account. Whenever it was literally me and her who created it. She was the one who wanted to make it to fucking catfish this guy that she liked. So I wasn't going to school for a few days and my guidance counselor literally had to come to my house. Pretty much drag me out of the fucking house and bring me to school. So I sat in the guidance counselor's office all day and then I had to move schools.
Here's a story time of how me and my sisters almost got kidnapped. So my mom and her boyfriend were just going to go out and have a night to themselves, and I was home watching my 2 little sisters. At the time, I was 13, my 2 little sisters were 9 and 6. So around 6 p.m., my mom and her boyfriend leave. Me and my sisters just sit down and watch a movie, and then I get up to make them dinner. I get paranoid really easily, and while I was making them dinner, I look out the kitchen window, and I thought I seen somebody in the backyard. I text my mom and she gets on the cameras that are outside and she said nobody was out there. I continue making them dinner, we sit down and eat, and then we start watching another movie. Then we start hearing knocking. It wasn't coming from any of the doors, it was coming from the side of the house. I didn't want to bother my mom on her one night out, so I just took the kids and we went upstairs and watched a movie in my room. My 6-year-old sister at the time went to the bathroom and she came back in literal tears. She was literally crying so hard until I finally got her to stop and tell me what was wrong. She said as she was walking back from the bathroom, she seen somebody downstairs. I quietly locked my door and I put my sisters in the closet and I called my mom right away. Part 2 of how me and my sisters almost got kidnapped. I called my mom and then she looked on the cameras downstairs and somebody was in the house. She never told me what the person was doing. I guess she just didn't want me worrying, but she called 911 right away. While my 2 little sisters were in the closet, my 6-year-old sister would not stop crying and I'm pretty sure the person downstairs heard her. At this time, my mom and her boyfriend were already on the way and so were the police. I heard him coming up the steps, so I quietly opened the closet door and promised my sisters that they would stay quiet and be calm no matter what. I didn't know what he was here for, so I hid in the side of the bed in front of the closet so that he would get to me before he got to the girls. I heard him just rummaging through stuff and stuff breaking. Then a couple minutes later, I hear the police sirens. Right as I hear the police sirens, I hear our bedroom window smash. While trying to stay as calm as I can, 3 policemen bust down the door. They grab me and my sisters and take us outside. About 5 minutes after they take us outside and put us in the back of their car, my mom and her boyfriend shows up. About 20 minutes later after he was caught, they did notify us that he was wanted for murder of 2 younger girls and 1 adult male. About $10,000 of our stuff was either missing or broke. Then about a month later when we were capable to, we did move. Nothing has happened since.
Story time of why I'll never ride in the subway ever again. I was on my way home after spending the weekend with my friend. I sit on this bench waiting for my train. This bench was right in front of this wall. It was placed on the edge of the wall where you would like turn the corner. And on that wall behind me, there was a ledge. So I had all my bags and I had my water bottle and I put it on that ledge. At the subway station, there was only like 3 people. Mind you, it was like nighttime. I noticed this creepy old man with a cane. Something in me was telling me to just Uber home. But I just stayed at the subway station because really nothing was going on for me to feel like that, if that makes sense. So I just ignored that feeling and waited for my train. I turned around to get my water bottle so I could get a sip of it. I noticed this man standing right on the corner of the wall and he was not there before, so I was kind of creeped out. He just smiles and waves at me, so I smile and wave back. I get my water bottle and I take a sip from it. Well, the train finally arrives and I start to get my bags together so I can get on the train. By the time I got everything together, it seemed like everybody else had already gotten the train except for the old man with the cane. As I was about to get on the train, he stopped me. He said not to get on the train because the man that appeared behind me had switched out my water bottle when I wasn't looking. It's a good thing I didn't get on the train. Or was it? Part 2 of why I'll never ride the subway ever again. Like I said, the old man stopped me because he said the man that appeared behind me had switched out my water bottle when I wasn't looking, and I had already taken a sip from it, so good thing I didn't get on the train. So now me and that old man were the only ones in the station. I thank him and then I start to get tingles all over my body. Like I'm getting really sleepy. So I start to leave the subway to catch an Uber instead. My body keeps getting more and more tired. Next thing you know, I black out. When I woke up, I was back on the bench, and the old man with the cane was sitting right next to me, looking at me. I start to panic and he says everything is okay, and that when he started to leave the station behind me, he noticed that I was passed out, so he picked me up and took all of my stuff and put me back on the bench. And he stayed with me to make sure that I was safe, not just passed out in the subway station by myself. So I'm thinking, wow, this old man is literally amazing. I thank him and start grabbing my stuff so I can leave. Well, as I'm leaving, I get a really weird feeling. I decided to glance behind me one more time, and there I see the man who supposedly switched out my water bottle turn the corner and start talking and laughing with the old man with the cane.